All right. So on the Google Classroom, if you guys have all received an email that I posted a new assignment. The first assignment in this class is going to be contour line drawings. Basically just focusing on drawing with lines, drawing things observationally, so looking at an item and being able to identify what are the most important details to draw and getting the correct proportions is what we're going to be working on in order to kind of start developing your drawing skills. So if you click on it, you're going to come to a document that looks like this, that's labeled Contour Line Drawing for Art Fundamentals. As I said, it's basically to get you to use one of the most fundamental elements of art, which is line. Everything is made up of lines, whether they're implied or real. Yes. You haven't got, oh, I'll get you on there, okay? So as you go through, it kind of tells you what you guys will be doing or my expectations of what you will be doing. So the first thing says, begin by practice drawing contour lines by participating in a blind contour drawing activity. So we're not going to get into that today. We're going to get into that Monday. And I'll kind of explain what blind contour drawing is. It's just kind of a fun little thing where you're looking at somebody and drawing them without looking at the paper. Super, it sounds scary, but it's meant to be kind of funny where you look at it and you're like, oh my gosh, that's really what I drew. But basically, we're going to be looking at the techniques of why you drew the certain aspects of that person's face and those processes and things like that. Once we kind of figure, so it says reflect on the techniques and processes that you use to make those contour drawings. You're gonna then keep building off of those techniques and processes to practicing drawing the contour lines or like the very outer defining lines of an object, a still life object. So like if I was drawing a cube from life, obviously the contour lines are going to be the outer lines of that cube in order to make it look like a cube. You guys are going to be drawing plants, so they're going to be a bit organic looking, but that would be the expectation there. The employ knowledge and use of craftsmanship in the creation of a quality work of art. So my expectation for this standard is that you are taking your time to go back and fix things that obviously need to be fixed, and that you're spending time to make it look the best that you can make it. So I do understand that everybody's at different ability levels in here. I understand some people may be very good at drawing, and some people may think they're very poor at drawing. But drawing is a skill that you can develop and work on in order to improve. Personally, I don't think I'm the best drawer in the world. I'm constantly erasing and fixing things. But that's kind of what I'm expecting out of you guys is going back, improving your work, finding things that need to be fixed, working on proportions and things like that. So that's kind of what I mean by this standard here. And overall, just when you turn in your final work, I don't like when your work is like crumpled because you shoved it into your book bag, or if you folded it and put it in a folder or something like that. I would like these to like be able to be framed or something, you know, something that you would find at an art store or that you would purchase yourself. I just like seeing when students put pride into their work, because then I see that you're putting that effort that I really am pushing you towards and expecting out of you. The next bullet point is participate within a final critique, providing feedback, insights, and or questions. So this is something that I kind of do where kind of where you guys were presenting about yourselves, introductions and things like that. At the end of each project, I like you guys presenting your artwork and for classmates to talk about your artwork. So as an artist, I feel the way that I improve is simply other people looking at my work, telling me what I did good, but also telling me things that I can fix. I hate it when I stand up and people say, oh my gosh, that looks amazing. You don't even need to fix anything about it. Because I know there's probably some things that I can fix because I'm not perfect. And honestly, my personal opinion, I don't think anybody is perfect. So there's always things that you can improve on, and that feedback really helps the improvement of your skills, and that's really why I like to do these critiques. When it's time to do the critique, I will go over how to give good feedback, how to present your artwork to us, those types of things. So don't really worry about critique right now, because when that time arises, I will teach you guys, give you guys a little bit more instruction regarding critique. And then the final thing that you guys are going to do for this assignment is to analyze, document, and communicate the artistic processes that were taken in the creation of the work of art. So basically what this means is you're writing me a short little paper. Usually it's about maybe a paragraph or maybe a page long. It's really not that big of a paper. But you're telling me what it is that you created, how you created it, why you created it, big ideas or goals behind it, and then you're personally critiquing it yourself. And again, when it comes time to write that first artist statement, I'm going to give you more in depth of how to write that successfully, and I'll give you an example of an exemplary artist statement because we grade on that 4-point grading scale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Below all of this is the rubric for the assignment. So these are all the standards that I will be grading you on for this assignment. And over here in this section kind of explains what I'm looking for. So I'm looking that you identified the important details of the object. The object is, I plan on bringing some of my house plants in here, and you guys are going to be drawing house plants. Just something interesting, I guess. And then I'm looking at that you were able to create the correct proportions of an object using only line. So I'm not looking for value. I'm not looking for cross-hatching, shading, anything like that. I'm only looking that you created lines in this drawing. And I'll show you guys an example here pretty shortly. This standard here, you can read through these individual things here. But basically, what this involves is your time and effort put into your work. So refining your errors, actually looking at it, not just drawing the plant one time and saying, oh, this is good, I'm done, but actually taking the time to erase your mistakes, fix your proportions, things like that, in order for it to look the best that you can possibly make it look. Again, I understand people are at different ability levels, so I know everybody's best isn't going to look the same. I don't expect that by any means. And then this is the critique and the artist statement here. I'll go over those when that time arises. But I figured I would show you. This would be a contour line drawing. So even though there's color blocks in the background, you don't have to put those in there. But even though that it's only made up with the very basic lines of the plant, you can still tell that it's a plant because the artist was able to identify the most important features, which would be the vase, the water within the vase, and the stems and the leaves of the plant. So that's kind of what I'm going to be looking for from you. If you feel like your drawing ability is pretty high up there, you can certainly put more detail into it, but using only line. I don't want any shading or anything like that. And Monday we'll be doing different activities where you guys will be practicing these things. And if it's nice outside, we might even try to get outside and draw some things from life there. And I'll give you guys some instruction on the best techniques to use to draw things proportionately from life. Because personally, I feel like it can be very challenging because on a picture of an object, you have the border of the picture around it to kind of frame it and judge where things are at. But when you're looking at something, you don't really have, and it's three-dimensional. It's not flat, so you're required to translate a three-dimensional object to a two-dimensional surface compared to looking at a two-dimensional picture and transferring it to a two-dimensional thing. So still life drawing, I feel like, is a bit challenging, but it's a very good starting point on developing those drawing skills and refining those drawing abilities. So that will be the first assignment for this class.